All right, my people. Chuck Nunface here. Excuse me. Okay, get that out. Last installment of my little vlog series on 1 month, 1 knife, 24. Been carrying. For those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, because that sometimes does happen. I know a lot of people watch my videos on a regular basis, but occasionally we get some people, this might be the first video they see. So what's going on is there's a group of people over on Instagram that have chosen every year they carry 1 knife for the month of August. No deviations. If you deviate, you take another knife out of your house, you use another knife, whatever, you get the Golden Wombat Award. And it's just basically, I don't even know if you want to call it bragging rights. Whatever it is, it's just a way to challenge people who are used to carrying and rotating their ADC all the time, always carrying a different knife and mixing things up. And if you watch this channel, maybe that's what you do. And if you watch this channel, maybe that's not what you do. I don't know. But if you do carry a knife or a different knife all the time, you know that carrying one knife for an extended period of time, 31 days in this case, it can be a bit of a headache because you just want to mix things up. You may have gotten, if you're like me, and many of you are, you may have gotten something in this month that you haven't even carried yet because you are committed to this challenge. So, yeah, this will be the last installment of my little vlog series. So the knife in question is a Spyderco Military 2 with a compression lock and different ergonomics, different kind of pattern. And of course, pocket clip, 4-position pocket clip. Now, not on this scale, as you see, because this is an aftermarket scale. This is a TI scale from Rock Scale Designs, which has been fantastic. So stay tuned on a full review of this knife. So it'll be kind of at least a 2-part type of review. So I'm going to review the Spyderco Mili 2 pattern as a whole and my thoughts on it. Spoiler alert, I like it. And then I'm also going to be reviewing these scales from Rock Scale Design and kind of sharing my thoughts on those. And I might even include some more in-depth thoughts in my experience with S110V. As you can see right there, that's what this is. Just to kind of touch on it, it's not my favorite steel. I can kind of see why it never really gained a whole lot of popularity. I mean, maybe it's because a lot of makers chose not to use it for machining purposes, and because, it can be hard to machine, and it's probably, with its hardness and carbide volume, it's probably kind of rough on belts and things like that. So maybe it's not the first choice, belts and bits and what have you. It's probably not the first choice for machining, but when you have something that's like S110V, which from everything I can tell, the only real benefit you have of S110V over S90V is you got a little bit more corrosion resistance. So if corrosion resistance along with edge retention is something that you're really looking for, S110V may be a great way to go. Now, if you know S90V at all, if you follow my channel for any length of time, you know that it is one of my favorite stainless steels. Probably my favorite. In fact, it is my favorite stainless steel, S90V. If S90V was the only choice in folders, I wouldn't be upset. I think it's a great steel. So it's got basically the same edge retention for all intents and purposes. I don't know if you'd be able to find a difference. It's slightly less corrosion resistance, but excuse me again, I've never had a corrosion problem with S90V personally. It's never been an issue for me, and it's a little bit tougher as well. It has a kind of a reputation of not being so tough, but it's no wilting daisy in that department. I mean, it's not 3V, but it's pretty tough when you consider the edge retention capabilities of S90V. So S110V is not my favorite steel. For me, it was kind of a challenge to sharpen and keep the type of edge that I like on a knife, which is really high top-end, front-end sharpness. This I found, and through my reading, is kind of supportive of that as well. Now, your mileage may vary as always, but you can get a very fine edge initially, but it degrades very quickly, and you're kind of left with a very toothy edge. Which is why a lot of people just take it to a toothy edge and just stop right there. Now, I stopped at 600 and then I went to strops. Maybe, I don't know. My experience, it's not the type of edge that I want. Now, that being said, and I've mentioned this in other videos, it does cut very well still. I mean, it's just not the type of sharpness that I like to get on a knife. So all those things being said, if you have participated in this challenge, we're almost done. If you have followed me on, my little vlog series and my journey through carrying 1 month or carrying one knife for the month of August this year, congratulations. You don't have to see it anymore. Stay tuned for a review on this knife and the scales. I'll have that probably out in, I don't know, sometime next week. I'll probably do that. And then, that's probably going to do it. It's over, my dudes. By the time you see this, we'll be on the last day, and you won't be hearing about, this one on YouTube other than the review that I'm going to do anymore. All right, so that's going to do it, y'all. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Follow me on Instagram at Chuck_Nunface. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you have, I certainly do appreciate that. And, thanks for going on this ride with me. It's over for now. Till next year, stay tuned for the review. And that'll be it. Peace.